Computational English by Lucian Green. Derivability 2 of 4. 11. I prepared to test that the giraffe had a long enough neck. I did this by testing the assignment with students. First, I tested the hypotenuse. Second, I tested the giraffe. Third, I tested the giraffe. In this way, I prepared to test that the giraffe had a long enough neck by testing the assignment with students. 12. I prepared to collect the floated comments. I did this by checking off the floated comment in the online project management software. First, I found the comments. Second, I found the floated comment. Third, I checked it off. In this way, I prepared to collect the floated comments by checking off the floated comment in the online project management software. 13. I prepared to satisfy a key performance indicator. I did this by proofreading the document by bracing it out. First, I gave the clause a 10, in fact, 80, bracing long a second. I checked the number of objects matched the number of the verb. Third, I checked the language match flow of objects through objects. In this way, I prepared to satisfy a key performance indicator by proofreading the document by bracing it out. 14. I prepared to taste test the meal. I did this by tasting the raspberry aggregate part. First, I picked the raspberry. Second, I picked its aggregate part. Third, I tasted the aggregate part. In this way, I prepared to taste test the meal by tasting the raspberry aggregate part. 15. I prepared to construct a chemical molecule recognition machine. I did this by writing the name of the object on the pedagogy screen. First, I looked at the pedagogy screen. Second, I recognized the object on the screen. Third, I wrote its name. In this way, I prepared to construct a chemical molecule recognition machine by writing the name of the object on the pedagogy screen. 16. I prepared to write how the main property of an object relates to space and value. I did this by philosophically describing an object in a sentence. First, I wrote down the structure of the object. Second, I wrote how the object related to me. Third, I wrote the main property of how it related to me. In this way, I prepared to write how the main property of an object relates to space and value by philosophically describing an object in a sentence. 17. The department prepared to be itself. The department did this by applying perspectivism to itself. First, it applied politics to itself. Second, it applied economics to itself. Third, it applied history to itself. In this way, the department prepared to be itself by applying perspectivism to itself. 18. I prepared to value the object. The subject did this by deeming herself positive when the object was determined to be objectively positive. First, I determined that the object worked. Second, I determined that the object was mechanically functional. Third, I determined that the object worked. In this way, I prepared to value the object by deeming herself positive when the object was determined to be objectively positive. 19. I prepared to determine that the object was algorithmically bug-free. I did this by deeming the object objectively positive. First, I recollected the object. Second, I wrote that I had no bias in judging the object. Third, I determined that the object, an apple, was fresh. In this way, I prepared to determine that the object was algorithmically bug-free by deeming the object objectively positive. 20. I prepared to predict the output from the input. I did this by stating that the self's event was only caused by the other's event, in fact, as in the input, not the output, as in simulated intelligence. First, I found the variable with the plus sign, plus, before it in the documentation, indicating it was an input variable, where the variable was in the head of the called predicate. Second, I found the data item corresponding to it in the query. Third, I wrote wrote this data item down. In this way, I prepared to predict the output from the input by stating that the self's event was only caused by the other's event, in fact, as in the input, not the output, as in simulated intelligence.